that went into that one. Now looking back at that now, what's kind of the thought process about that day, just now a couple days removed?
Yeah, I mean, not obviously you're happy to still be playing, right? I mean, so you recognize that, but we got to get on with the next one. So we're not spending too much time, waxing on Saturday night's events. We got to take care of the task at hand and get ready for the weekend. So, yeah, great win, and we enjoyed it, of course, and but on to the next.
You saw Florida earlier in the year, had some success against them. What worked particularly well then, and what we need to do to replicate that?
Yeah, I mean, it's like most of these games, it comes down to the serve and pass part of it. I think they're a good serving team. So our ability to take care of first contact matters, and then obviously we got to find ways to side out. I still like us on the defensive end against most teams, but we gotta produce on the offensive end as well.
That said, the defense was so key on Saturday in winning that match. What do you need to see from them going forward, and how important is defense at this time of year in the postseason?
Yeah, I mean it matters a lot. Everyone's good, so just your ability to be disciplined relative to not just the plan, but being disciplined to the moment, based on what is. I think that was certainly a big shift for us as the match went on Saturday. Just defensively, we got cleaner and we're in better spots. Technically we were better or more efficient, or however you want to describe it. But obviously that was the difference for us, was our block and D that turned the match.
Hugh, what does it say about the character of your team? I mean, you're 1 point away from your season being over, and you're able to push through that. I mean, just what does that say about the group?
Well, a lot. I mean, this group's, hallmark or whatever. Their calling card has been one of resolve or grit or whatever cliche you want to use. But in this particular instance, it's very real. This team has gone through a lot of different moments of potential adversity that could have defined the season in the wrong kind of way, and yet they've found ways to be successful in spite of those moments. And again, another way that was exemplified on Saturday. So we understand that doesn't get us anything, moving forward. But what we do know is that if we get into trouble, we've gotten out of trouble before, and it's nice to know that versus hope that.
Taylor's a player who has personified grit and resilience throughout her career here. How essential is it to have players like her at this time of the season?
I think it matters a lot. Their experience is very relevant as we move forward, not just in terms of this season, but she's been a part of teams that have been to Final Fours and obviously that have won Big Ten championships and done all kinds of significant things in terms of outcomes. But her personal journey, having fought so hard to be here, I think it's great to have people that are that invested and that have shown such a great commitment to what we're trying to achieve.
Obviously, you're connected to Minnesota through your father as well. But when you see the growth of volleyball since you've been here and all that, help put it on the map as a Minnesotan, what does that mean to you? And have you even surprised yourself to see the heights it's gone to?
Yeah, just being a Minnesota kid coming to Minnesota is just a dream come true in itself, but being able to be a part of a great program is even more than anybody could ask for. So just seeing the growth over the years and the connectedness and the resilience that we've developed this season is just, like, you couldn't ask for a better result from that. We've been different lineups, people playing this place or this place and playing in very hostile gyms and whatever, but being able to come together and say, no, we're gonna continue to get together, lean on each other, and we're gonna do it, and we're not gonna ease up, we're not gonna give up, we're not gonna let up. So that's just really awesome. And each senior says, oh, this is a great team and this is no team like I've ever been on before, but this is for real. Like, I've never been a part of a team that just is so connected and just really all is on the same page, on the same note, and we're all moving towards the same goal, which is really awesome.
Taylor, defensively, blocking was a big impact in both the matches over the weekend. That's been a focus kind of all year long. What have you seen in terms of team development from the first match up to this point?
I mean, in practices, we kind of have little mini competitions, not really competitions, but like co-opetitions. Like we're working together, but we're trying to make each other better, but also making ourselves better. So just like, I'm gonna work on blocking your shot, so you have to work on another shot, and you're gonna work on hitting another shot, so I can now read what you're gonna do, you know? So just kind of like in practices, we do it every single day, and we work really hard. So I feel like just like our hunger has gotten more and more over the past season. So I just thought it was really, really cool that we're all getting set up in the right places, our hands are in the right spots, and we're being low and over most of the time, and it's really cool.
Given how good the blocking has been this season, Taylor, when you guys were in trouble in that fourth set on Saturday, were your primary blockers thinking, hey, this can get us out of this, we can get us out of this, and what personally did you think you could do to help turn things around that match?
Well, personally, I thought I wasn't doing too well in the beginning. But then I just kind of was like, okay, if there's one thing I can do is put my hands back into the court. Just be low and over. Don't think about anything else. Just put your hands back in the court. And I guess it works. You know, he's been telling me that for about 5 years now, and it works. So it was
all leading up to that moment.
Nah, but it was, I don't think it was like anything like specifically like one group of people like, oh, we can turn it around. It was just like, we're just going to try to do our job and do it well and do it so everybody else can do their job. You know, if there's one thing I try to tell Lexi and Steph, like, hey, I'm just going to go in hard. I'm going to approach hard, draw the block so you guys can kill it. Or I tell them, hit it nice and hard and nice and high because I will be under there to cover you. And I tell them that, and I hope that gives them like a little sense of like security, like, hey, my teammate got my back. But you just try to do your job so other people can do their job, and it all works out at the end.
Taylor, what was the talk in the huddle in that fourth set? You called them out, and the season's 1 point over. So what's kind of the talk amongst the team?
I mean, at that point, you really don't want to think about it, but like it's really hard not to. But you just want to say, you just tell them, like, just do your job, do what you have to do. Don't lose the hope. Like, you know, like those are the times when like doubt can creep in and we're like, no, we can't think about it. We can't think about the season could be over. No, we're just going to take it point by point. Just what is one thing that I can do to help us win this next point, not this next game, you know? And I feel like that kind of calmed us down a little bit, and it did help that Cece went on like a little run with the serves and got that ace, and I feel like that just kind of was like, okay, like it's not the end of the world, you know? So I thought that was just kind of taking it point by point, not focusing too much in the future. So.
You kind of mentioned the ability to, you know, block out those thoughts of like what could happen. Has that been a big point of emphasis all season?
Yeah, I think it's something that all athletes struggle with is expectation, and be it expectation from an external source or even just their own personal expectation of what an outcome might be or should be or maybe their own performance, whatever. But just, you know, as Taylor said, we try to make it as simple as we can. Just do your job, you know, and if we do it right, then we have a good chance of a good outcome. So just it's more about trying to have the discipline to keep it simple and keep those thoughts at bay than it is, you know, anything other than that. Yeah.
Taylor, as a senior, do you think it might have been harder for you to not think about that, since it could have meant the end of your college career as well?
Yeah, it was really difficult actually, but just like, I don't know, like I feel sometimes since I am a fifth-year senior, like we've seen the ups and downs and the tears and the joys and the whole works of a season can bring. So I try not to let people like see that like, oh no, like it could be, I just gonna be like, look, we're gonna be okay. Like we're just gonna do our job. We're just gonna side this out and we're gonna do our job. Now sometimes that's a little difficult for me to do, but I just look at the coaching staff sometimes and I'm just like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. Like before I go in, I'll tell Laura, I'll say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to just get my hands over. I'm going to be low. I'm going to be up and loaded. And that's it. I'm not going to focus on anything else. I'm going to just do what I have to do. And I feel like that kind of helps the team like, oh, she's just focusing on what she has to do. So I'm gonna just focus on what I have to do and not focus on anything else but doing my job. And I feel like that can calm down a little bit. But being simple is actually pretty hard when you think about it, but we're working on it. We're doing a pretty good job at it.
How have you seen Taylor's kind of leadership grow? She's often, other than you, one of the loudest people in that huddle and timeouts talking to the team. So what is she kind of doing in that capacity?
Well, she's come a long way. I mean, at the beginning, she also was. I mean, she hasn't gotten louder. You know what I mean? Like that's just who she is. But charismatic and energetic, and certainly is in there talking to the team about stuff. But at the beginning, there was a bit of a space between the words and maybe some of the actions that were backing them up. And I think as she's matured over the course of her career, you know, that space continues to get smaller and smaller. So, you know, we all need to be a credible source of these things. We've all seen, you know, the sports movies and all the cliches that go with them. We can all go to those, but being able to back that up with the right actions matters. And, you know, here's a case on Saturday night where in some phases of her game, Taylor was struggling, and yet, you know, she was able to find a way to influence the outcome in a positive manner by doing things and saying things, but not just talking, acting as well, right? We all know the big hat, no cattle, right? But she's got a big hat, and she's got some cattle back there, too.
Would you guys rather play on a neutral floor or an opposing team where you got people are cheering against you and you draw energy from that when you get in the tournament?
I mean, we'll play wherever and whenever, whoever. So, like, I feel like that doesn't really dictate. But I like it when they're, like, cheering against us low-key, because it's like Hugh said before, when we played Penn State, they're just here to see good volleyball. They're here to watch a good game, and, you know, if you're going to cheer against us, okay, you know, we're still going to give you a good volleyball game. We'll give you a good show. So I like it. I don't really have a preference. I like it when they're cheering for us, but I also kind of like it when they cheer against us. So.
Yeah, there's energy in the room either way, right?
Yeah.
It's how you frame it, yeah.
What is the atmosphere like? How is it different in the tournament versus, you know, regular season?
I mean, when we're playing at the PAV, it's really no different. We still have really strong and really awesome fans that cheer for us no matter what. But when we're like at a different site, it's kind of like it seems like they're cheering extra super hard against you, because it's like now they really don't want their team to lose, because then that means the season's over. So it's just kind of like you always want to say you don't want to think about it, but that's the thought in the NCAA tournament is if you lose this game, your season's over. So you have to claw, scratch, bite your way. You got to do what you got to do to make sure that doesn't happen. And we do a pretty good job of under pressure, and yeah, so I think that's good.
I think from a coaching point of view, the difference, of course, is that in the conference you see these teams all the time.
Yeah.
You've got a pretty good handle on the patterns. You know, you've got a lot of data to draw from, and we still do that now. But you know, seeing a team on film and playing them, you know, the different styles from different conferences, different teams is some of the things that are unique to the tournament. And then you add the emotional component of it's the tournament, and there is a lot on the line, and there's a degree of finality to it all. So, you know, it makes it more interesting. That's for sure.
Is there something from that Florida match that you can glean on earlier this season when you've already beaten them, or
Yeah, maybe you know, some degree of like, okay, well, it's, you know, we know a little bit of what they're going to do, but you know, I think we're a little bit different than we were 3-4 months ago. I'm sure they are too. So we're not putting too much stock in what happened in September.
You guys went to that 6-2 a little bit at the end of the
Mm.
game. Do you think that's something you might try to implement a little bit more early on in Florida, or are you going to go back to the system and see?
Yeah, I mean, if circumstance dictates that we need to roll it out, then we're certainly not afraid to. You know, in the Creighton match, we were struggling to kill the ball in the middle, especially, you know, our slide has been a really effective play for us, but it wasn't firing, you know, and so under those conditions, we thought it was worth a try to get ID in the match and maybe upgrade the right front blocking a little bit, maybe give us a few more offensive options or possibilities, and so it was more of a tactical thing than anything, and again, nice to have that string to our bow should we need it moving forward.
Taylor, how can a match like Saturday help the team moving forward? been in that situation and gotten out of it?
I just feel like over the course of the season, we've been through so many different things, and I feel like the Saturday match really like showed how resilient and how much we've worked hard over the course of the season in that one particular game. It just kind of was like, okay, now it's really evident. Like, if you didn't see it before, like I saw it, but if anyone there was any doubt or like, oh, I don't know how resilient we really are, how much grit we really do have, that was a really good indicator to show that we really do work hard and we really do operate on all cylinders. So I feel like moving forward in this tournament, I feel like that can only help us because we're able to work really hard. We're able to dig ourselves out of holes that we create or that are just there. We're able to side things out. We're able to be really disciplined on offense and on defense. So, yeah.
Anything else for Coach Taylor?
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.